It was interesting when I was working on a undergraduate degree at the University of Kentucky. We visited the VA hospital. They got a real big one there in Lexington, and so, anyways, we were visiting this as part of that class. I decided when I was there, I just felt the urge just to encourage them and to say something that would be positive. And so I started out saying, "Do you know why we're all here?" It was quiet for a little bit, and then somebody in the back stood up and said, "Because we're not all there." Well, this kind of looks like the same crowd I'm with today, so I hope I can encourage you. But for you and me, it's my Father. Is it this or that what He's going to bless? What do we do? How do we make that decision? How do we know for sure He's going to be there for us? I want to tell you some of the truths of God's holy word. God gets us here. The God that gets us here will get us there. Your life is a journey, and it's not over with. It's a beautiful story to tell. And if it's just a humdrum thing, then you need to get run over by a car. You need to do something that we can tell stories on. But we need to do something for our Heavenly Father and to appreciate what He's given to us. And so I know, I don't know about tomorrow. I've got Parkinson and a few other things. I'm married. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. The other day I was talking to my wife, and I said, we'd had one of those little in-house spats, so to speak. I looked at her and I said, "Hey, you got your wedding ring on the wrong finger." She goes, "That's because I married the wrong man." The God who did this. That's what she said. So there's some other sufferers out there. The God who gets us here will get us there. You need to know that. I like to read some of the characters, and this is taken from the 23rd chapter of 1 Samuel or 2 Samuel. It talks about David's warriors and how mighty and how great they are and all the things they did. I love those kind of stories because I know if He did it for one, He'll do it for you, and He'll do it for me. And so you need to kind of just keep reading in God's holy word these little stories and see how they apply to you. The God who gets us here is the God who will get us there. And the older I get, the more confidence I have in Him that He will do that. I don't know why I didn't have all that confidence before. I felt like so much of it depended upon me. And it doesn't. It's not. He does it in spite of us. The God who did this will do that. And the main thing we have to do is just keep heading in the right direction. Just keep doing good. If you don't know, your life's a struggle. It's a mess. It's been that way for a couple of years or longer, your marriage, whatever it is. Just keep on doing good. Lay it down, and the Lord will deliver us from that. You just got to be prepared to know which battlefield you want to die on. Page 2. I can't even turn the page. God's grace. He's so good. I can say that God's grace. I tell the people in Haiti, God's grace, when we're starving, God's grace is not in the rice. It's in the sauce. It's that little sauce they put on top of that beans and rice. It's so rich in flavor. But they only give you like a tablespoonful for a big plate of rice. And so you're always nudging them a little bit more. And the woman looks at you like you're trying to rob her or something. And finally, she'll just give you a little bit more. I tell her this, grace is not in the potato. It's in the gravy. It is in the gravy. That's where the difference comes. And you can have just a regular old potato, a boiled potato, or do whatever, and just a bland potato. You put a little gravy on that, and I'm telling you, that's living. Well, they kind of refer to that in the first chapter of Ephesians when we find in that passage of Scripture there, the glorious grace which He has freely given to us is in the one that He loves. And this is it, that He lavished on us, that our cup was full and overflowing. That's the way I feel. I've got a lot of things going wrong, but you know what? I'm not discouraged. I'm not depressed about any of that. I tell everybody, when you get to be my age, you got to reach in the hat and pull out something. And I reached in the hat and I pulled out Parkinson, a couple heart attacks, a couple other things. You know what? I ain't putting my hand back in that hat no more. All of a sudden, I became very thankful for what the Lord has done for me. Amazing grace. I'm walking up to our house. It's a new house, and Mom will tell you about it. But that's kind of a steep grade when you first start going up there. Anyways, I'm walking up there and hobbling along with my little cane, and somebody comes and gets on the one arm and one over here. And that's the way they always do it. They always help me. I don't have to worry about that. But anyways, I'm walking up there, and I look at the two guys that are helping me. One of them's 92 years old, and the other one's 86. I'm 72. And there they are, pushing, dragging, helping me get up there. Isn't that just amazing? That is amazing. And I thought right then, this is just amazing, amazing grace. I was on a moped, and I could throw my leg up on the moped to get on a moped. I can do that. I can't get off. Sometimes I can't get on, and they'll lift my leg up. Oh, my gosh. Do you ever feel like a wishbone? I'm telling you. Especially getting me off. And they got me off one time, and I fell getting off. One guy was pulling me one way, and one was pulling the other, and I ended up sitting on the ground right beside that moped. My back was kind of to it. What happened in the process, my leg got against the muffler that's back there. Burnt the crap out of it. I mean, it was hurting. So I was sitting there looking at it, and they were feeling sorry for me. And all I could see looking back over my shoulder was I saw this black hand going out, removing the dipstick. Do you ever have a dipstick? I've been around a lot of dipsticks, but this was a real dipstick. Anyways, they unscrewed that dipstick, put their finger, I was watching them, put that finger on that oil that was in that dipstick and rubbed it on my leg. They did that about 3 times. I go. There was a peace came over me. The pain was gone. I know my Jesus did, I go. Now that's amazing. Amazing. I was in Dillard's the other day, and I told Mama the day before we went back to Haiti the last time, I said, this is Larry's day. It's my day. I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to buy me whatever I want to buy. And so I go out and buy the same thing I have, same brand of shoes. I always get the same tennis shoe. It's number 43 on the shelf. I go in there and get it, and I always get these brown shoes. They're Echo shoes. They're very good. Anyways, I went to get them, and they weren't there. She said, well, I don't know why they stopped discontinuing them, but we had to send them back. We don't have that shoe anymore. It's a little black lady helping me. So when we got to talking and everything else, she says, I got just a shoe for you. I go, I don't know about that. And she says, no, let me sit down. Just sit down. My feet was wet from walking in the rain, getting there. And anyways, so I sat down there, and she brings this shoe out, and it's so easy to get on. I was having trouble tying my shoes and everything else. She was such a big help to me. And before I got ready to leave, my shoes are on the counter, and she says, can I pray for you? I go, yeah, you can pray for me. And I was watching her. You never know. You got to watch them out of one eye, corner of your eye, what's going on. Thought maybe they'd do the shoe shuffle or something on me. So she's praying for me, and I'm watching out of one of my eyes, just peeping a little bit. And I saw her take her hands and put them all over my shoes. And she prayed aloud, and she said, Lord, bless this man. Bless these shoes. When he puts his feet into these shoes, may you just bless him, take him where he's supposed to go and what he's supposed to do. I go, ain't that amazing? That is amazing grace. I've had that top over and over and over again. This is my 50th year, my anniversary year from returning from Vietnam, 1967. I'm in Haiti. I've always had a little trouble with that, it's just something that's there that I don't like about it. But anyways, that was what was going on. And so we moved to the new place, and we have to get our things hooked up to the jukebox or whatever you hook up those, what is it? Internet, yeah. Had to hook up to the internet. Anyways, when I didn't realize it, but the telephone operation in Haiti has been bought out, or that internet, whatever that is, has been bought by the Vietnamese government or business over there. So when I go in to tell them and give them a what for and a what to, here's this guy. I go, hey, are you Vietnamese? He goes, yeah, I am, as a matter of fact. I go, well, he said, yeah, I have my hat on all the time. He goes, I see you served over there. I go, yes, I did. I said, well, where are you from in Vietnam? And he goes, I'm from Hanoi. That is not a good place to be from as far as I'm concerned. Brings back a lot of terrible memories. But anyways, I make the best of it, and we chit-chatter, and we go out. And as I'm going down the steps, would you believe, he's kind of hesitant reaching out, but he reaches out, and I take him by the hand, and he helps me down the steps. I go, 50 years. My God, isn't that a blessing? Isn't that a great thing? And I got peace over that whole thing. I've got peace today that I didn't have. It was just a second type thing. Well, I've talked long enough. I want Mama to come up here and show you, to talk about the blessings that we have. God's amazing grace. It's so amazing that I just praise his name every day. And I'm thankful we're here.
Before you step down, you can put that down there. This amazing guy, we've been married 48 years, 38 years in Haiti. But when we were married 17 years.
This isn't good.
17 years.
This is not good, I'm telling you.
We were going down the road to speak, and he says, Mama, I want to ask you something.
Yes.
And you're going to get mad. I was like, well, what is it?
You said you wouldn't get mad.
Is your name Diane or Diana? We had been married 17 years. And I was wondering why he kept calling me honey and mama. He did not know my name.
Yeah. She's my sugar dumpling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness. Well, it's amazing to be with you here again. We're just so excited to be back. Love your VBSs. Love all the people that are here. And we've had some amazing things happen in Haiti. I mean, amazing, because our church that we have tried to get on that mountain for 12 years was built on that mountain and completed, and the people are in it. And we've been there 6 months, and 90 some odd people have accepted Jesus. We're packed. We're building new benches, but everything's going all the way to the people bring their chairs to sit in. I was like, oh my gosh, you think we're going to have a second service in Haiti? But God has blessed us so much. Now, I have to tell you, we have a different style of evangelism in Haiti. When you are a visitor, they'll say, any visitors here today? Stand up, please. And they'll stand up. And then Simone will say, you want to accept Jesus? Now, the sermon hasn't even been preached. You want to accept Jesus? Well, it kind of puts people on the spot there, you know. They just came for the first time. But I want to tell you something. We've had 3 and 4 people that'll say just about in every service, yes, and they'll go to the back. Well, we've been working with the brothels, the women of the night, and we've been working with them, and we had 7 come to church one Sunday. They were all covered up. You didn't even recognize them. And so they were all dressed so cute, and there were 7 of them, and so Simone says, because they're visitors, stand up if you're a visitor, and all those 7 brothel women stood up. Now, we've been working with them in an entrepreneur program to make beads instead of babies and sex. So we said, we're going to do beads. Well, they're making a lot of money through this entrepreneur program to make these beads and send them back and sell them. So they all stand up, and Simon says, you want to accept Jesus? And those women look over at me like, what? And I told Simon, they're going to do it one of these days. They're going to do it, but just let them sit down now. Just let them sit down. So we are excited because God is using and loving and bringing people into the church that other people wouldn't even have in their church. And we're opening doors, and God is, oh my goodness, God is blessing so very much. We have over 80 young people. We call them the La Jeunesse. We have 80 young people. We had them up first time at our house last week. We surprised them. We made popcorn. You know how long it takes you to make 80 bags of popcorn on the stove? 80 bags of popcorn, and got them soft drinks and surprised them, and they came up on the porch. And it was raining, but man, they was running to get on that porch, and we served them Cokes and popcorn, and they laughed and had the best time. We've got so many things that we want to teach them in that house. And one of the Lodgianists, one of the young men just graduated from high school. He's now in Port-au-Prince, and he wants to be a preacher. That's amazing. God is so amazing. Now, our work team. Larry has a work team. You know, everything we do, we try to bring evangelism and bring Jesus into it. So every, usually Monday through Saturday, because they work on Saturday, Larry has a group of men, almost 40 to 50 men. They circle up, and they sing songs. You first know they're there because they do this little clap thing they do. And then they sing a song, they pray, and then somebody will step in the circle, and they want to give a testimony. One man said, you know that bowl of food? He said, I'm ashamed to even say this in front of all you men. But you know that bowl of food that you send home with my daughter? She gets it from your nutritional center. There was a month that we didn't have no work at all. There was no food. That's all she ate. But I was so hungry one day that I ate 2 tablespoons of that food just to keep me going. That's amazing. That's amazing. And we're hoping with God's grace and your money, God's grace and your money, we're hoping to double. Instead of 150 kids, we want to feed 300 kids. And what we're doing, we are building a nutritional center now, and what we want to do, instead of them taking their food home, they will sit down and eat their food. And that way we'll know that they'll get all the nourishment and stuff, the little kids too. So that's amazing. And I tell you something else. Back at the old house, we had all these kids come from a mountain. We didn't even know them. Come from a mountain and come up. I fed about 17 of them. Well, I want you to know, now that we've moved, which is 3 miles away, the other one was a mile away, little Dylan and Levinsky, one's 4 and one's 6, they walked 3 miles to come to our new place just to get food every day and 3 miles back home. That's amazing to me. And there's other children in that area that does as well. But just think, 4 and 6 years old. And they act like they've never seen us. When they come in, they grab us and hug us like they haven't seen us for years. Oh, now that we love. That we absolutely love. One thing about our work team, this happened this time right before Larry paid them on Saturday. One of the men stepped in and said, you know, our brother Sony, which is one of the guys that works, and he was one of our street boys. He since got married and has a baby. He said he's real sick. In fact, they don't think he's going to make it. He's lost tons of weight. His knee is swollen 3 times its size. He's only 24 years old. You know, he can't work. He's not going to be able to work. How about, men, if we give $10, as much as they need the money themselves, how about if we give $10, each one of us give $10. When we get paid today, Pastor Larry's going to pay us. What if we give $10 of our money and then somebody take it to Sony? And Sony got $400 that day. Now, that's amazing. That's amazing. The other thing is amazing. That voodoo tree that everybody's been scared of, and one big limb fell down last year. Well, there's another one that fell down this year, and there's no decay. There is no decay in that tree. The Lord is bringing it down. In fact, they still are saying, tell the big fat white man to quit coming around that tree and praying with his God and bringing them missionaries. We don't want the big fat guy and the missionaries and God coming over here. And so now what's so neat is the little children who's been so afraid, now they just ride on top of those limbs like a horse. It's lost its power. There's no power. Now that's amazing. That's amazing. Another amazing thing is, I know your all's cross is 40 feet, I think is what Sam said in the last. Anyway, we are building a 53-foot cross. Thompson Concrete, that's from Ohio here, that comes in with us. They got an engineer to figure this out, because I'm thinking 53 feet with hurricanes and earthquakes we've been having over there, and it's kind of in the angle of my house, and I'm thinking, wow. It's going to be beautiful, but if it comes down, I'm a dead. So anyway, they got 2 layers left. Once they get to the second layer, or the last layer, they're putting lights that's supposed to last for 20 years in that cross. they'll see it from everywhere. And the wingspan, 6 tons of concrete. Now that's amazing. That's amazing. We've been after a land deal. We bought almost all the mountain except that little section over there where them sweet people are sitting. It would be about, if we owned all of this, but we just needed to buy that little section. Nobody can do anything with it. It's not big enough. The lady, $20,000. Well, we're not going to do that. Larry's like, no. All right, the next year, $15,000. No, we're not paying. We had a price we felt like God wanted us to give. She went down to $10,000. She was $1,000 off. We said no. And 2 days before Larry left, she came. She said, okay, $9,000. Larry said, we'll pay it. And we did the land deal. And we may put a medical clinic on that. We're not real sure what we're going to do. But that's amazing after all this time. 12 years we fought for that land. We've battled Satan. It used to be a voodoo land. People came up there and brought all kinds of voodoo stuff, and zombie people came walking across. It was called the Zombie Trail. And now it's going to have a cross to bring glory to Jesus. And God is going to be seen all over that mountain. In fact, we've named it the City of Light. We've changed the name of the church to the City of Light. What an amazing thing. We've got 4 boys that are graduating from our street ministry. We started a street ministry because one of the kids that were on the street, it was raining and they put him up. He went up on top of a porch of a person that owned this house, and that guy came out at 3 o'clock, poured kerosene on him, and set him on fire. They don't like the street boys. So that's how we first started Ways of Mercy, was taking in street kids that have nothing but the shirt on their back. Well, these boys have now, next year, we will have 4 that will graduate. One of them wants to be a preacher. One wants to be a policeman. One wants to be a mechanic or work on any kind of electronic stuff. He runs our sound system. It's broke all the time. He just needs to leave it alone. But they've got goals. And you know what? They're not only just making A's, they're the president of their class. I mean, these are street kids. Now, that's amazing. And then lastly, we've got our first house. I don't know if you realize this. I realize it. We've been in Haiti 38 years, and we've never had a home. Larry never felt like, the Haitian lives in huts and dirt floors. We shouldn't have really our own place. So we've always had a cot that was on a cement slab and a tub that we kept our clothes in. We have our first home about 2 months ago. We moved into our first home, and Tom was there for our first trip into our home. Oh, it's so beautiful, and it's so big, and no steps for Larry to climb, no rats in my skillets. Oh, it's just so nice. And I have to tell you, we've got one room that's air-conditioned, and it's my bedroom. Well, when Thompson's crew was there, I said, hey, I'm going to be in that bedroom tonight with a cot. I didn't have my bed set up. Larry was out sleeping in the chair. Next thing I know, 5 of Thompson's men have moved in with me in my bedroom back there. I said after 38 years, I'd never slept with 5 men, but I did that night. But I'll have to say, Tom wasn't there. Tom wasn't there. He waited till some of them left, then he came. Oh, God is so amazing, so amazing. And you guys are amazing. You're our partners. I don't know, you probably don't realize this, but I pray for you every day. I pray for my partners every day. I don't know what heartache you're going through. I know some of you all let me know. I know the Sams has let me know. I pray for Abigail and Grace and Mindy. Looked like they were just on my prayer list more than anybody because they had so many problems, the Sams family. But I pray. Cindy Parcell has people on there needing prayer all the time. I circle them and I pray because I think you must be praying for me. I want to pray for your life. And I thank you for your support. We're getting old, so a lot of our people are dying that used to support us. And for some reason, they're not leaving us nothing in the wheels. So God has given us new people. If it wasn't for Tom Alexander, we would have never met Thomas Concrete. And they've just done so much to help us. So, in closing, two old people, 38 years in Haiti, 48 years getting ready in July to be married. And we count that scripture very important that says, even the old can bear fruit. And so we hope God allows us to bear more fruit. I keep saying I want God to come, but now that I'm in that new house, I'd rather him wait one more year and let me enjoy it. And then he could come. But I want you to know you're amazing. And you guys have meant so much to us. Like Larry said, your family. Your family. And we need family. Sometimes we get really lonely. You know, we get really lonely in Haiti. And we can count on you guys when our secretary calls and says, hey, I heard from Amazing Grace. Woohoo! Amazing Grace remembered us, and that means a lot to us.